truly understand me, you know, because they don't. Yeah. Can't change the world unless we change ourselves. Die from the sicknesses if we don't seek the health. All eyes be my witness when I speak was felt. Full house on my hands, the cards I was dealt. 3 Ks, 2 A's in America. I'm just a black space born out the nebula. And everything I do will say today that's worthwhile. Will for sure inspire action in your first child. I begin my first now. Sometimes I speak and I feel like it ain't my words. Like I'm just a vessel channeling inside this universe. I feel my ancestors invested inside of me. It's like they want me to shoot my chance and change the society. But how do I go about it? Tell me where I start. My destiny rerouted when I chose to follow heart. You chose to follow suit, but tell me what it do for you. Except where you down, now you trapped inside the cubicle they built.
My name is Tyler Austin, and I'm here with one of my friends, Mustafa Ibrahim, who's also in my fraternity. Moose, first off, I just want to thank you for coming in, and I want the viewers to know a little bit more about you and who you are. To start off, where are you from?
My name is Mustafa Ibrahim. I'm from North Caldwell, New Jersey. I'm 20 years old, and I'm an economics major at the U of A.
Awesome. So you're pretty far away from home, just like me. What brought you all the way out to the U of A?
The business school, and also I wanted to get away from the cold.
Definitely. I know the East Coast gets pretty cold in the winter.
Yeah, a lot of snow.
Would you describe your town as being more diverse or pretty one-sided when it comes to race and ethnicity?
I would say I'm more diverse. I like to get to know many different people from different ethnic groups.
Now, your town, though, would you describe it as being very diverse or it's pretty one-sided?
My town's pretty one-sided. It's mainly white individuals, and it's half Jewish and half Italian.
Okay.
So I'm kind of the minority.
Okay. So you'd say that the majority race in your town is pretty much overall white?
Yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with the term racial profiling?
Yeah, I've heard of it before growing up.
Definitely. How would you define it if you had to describe it?
I'd say racial profiling is just identifying anyone just because of a racial stereotype, I guess. That's just
Definitely.
my opinion on what I think it is.
Okay. And what race first comes to mind when you think of racial profiling?
I would say black, because a lot of black people in my area that I grew up with were racially profiled. I was racially profiled before, so that's just my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with the amount of the amount it gets shown on TV and the influence it has on other viewers in the community, or is it just overall in your town you think that
I
racial
think
profiling is pretty big?
I think racial profiling is just big all around,
Okay.
not just with one race. Many people are racially profiling nowadays, I guess. It's just really big. And
And you said you were racially profiled before. In what way were you racially profiled in your community?
when I was in 8th grade, I was called the N word
Okay.
because I was in class.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember what exactly caused the incident, but I was called the N word just because I guess I was different. And when I came out of the room, I got into an altercation with the kid because of it. So
Definitely. And was that individual white?
yes,
And the school you're going to, was it a predominantly white school or was it pretty
yeah,
diverse?
it was a very predominant. It was white school.
And the consequence was, what'd you say happened to the kid?
The kid never got a consequence. I was suspended for 3 days. The school said there was no type of proof that the kid even said the word the N word to me.
Do you feel like it wasn't really represented as big because it was a predominantly white school and the teachers were predominantly white, so they didn't take the situation as serious?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Definitely. And do you feel like your ethnicity or religious background sometimes puts you at a disadvantage?
Um, Not really. I guess anyone can be what they want to be. I don't think religion should be something that brings you back. You should believe in what you want to believe in.
Definitely. And for the viewers that don't know, your religion is?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, definitely. And I remember growing up in my community that it was predominantly a white neighborhood just like you. And I was normally the only black person on my baseball team for a majority of my life until I hit high school. I think that kids expect African Americans to be better at sports than white people and also faster. Even though I was the best player on my team, I always knew that I felt pressure because I had to be 10 times better than the next kid because sometimes the coach's son would get more recognition than me even though my talent surpassed him. I kind of feel like it kind of had to do with the ethnicity and my skin color sometimes. It played a bigger role. Do you feel like you're more apt to experience racial profiling since you're the majority within your community rather than being in a predominantly black community?
I think that's a big part of it, actually. Yeah. Once you're like the minority, people always come to you and like see you as a target because you're just an easy target. You're a minority.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, we both grew up in similar neighborhoods, I feel like, and we both stick out like a sore thumb in our community.
Yeah.
But I feel like it makes us like an easier target sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you think that racial profiling is necessary in order to keep our neighborhood safe, or should it be kind of obviously not looked down upon, but like there should be an alternative to racial profiling there?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of racial profiling nowadays that like cause many problems. I think it should just be over with.
Just an alternate
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you think that white people are victims of racial profiling as well?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think that racial profiling leads to harmful like stereotyping of different races as criminals and maybe terrorists?
Yeah. I think stereotypes have a big part of like the racial profiling is because people will just say whatever they want just because of someone's stereotype, and it's like most of the time it won't be true.
Exactly. And do you think like, I don't know, law enforcement sometimes they use racial profiling and it kind of puts a bad light and diminishes the name of like maybe one race compared to another or one religion compared to another? You said you were
Muslim.
Exactly. So sometimes people after 9/11, I know some people thought Muslims, a lot of Muslims were terrorists, and that's not the case. Because all people are different, honestly, and you can't just judge someone based off their religion.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see where you're coming from, as it leads to stereotypes from different races.
Yeah.
Do you think racial profiling is beneficial to ensure safety in our neighborhoods, or do you think there's an alternate option?
I think there's an alternate option for it,
Definitely.
but yeah,
Yeah, I get you.
yeah,
Do you think you're guilty of racial profiling at times?
yeah. Like, not gonna lie, I've been racially profiled, and I've probably racially profiled someone, but not personally to their face.
No, I know exactly what
You
you're
know what I
saying. Like
mean?
sometimes it's hard because like honestly we don't want law enforcement to racially profile but they're humans also and we also do it ourselves, so
Yeah.
we can't. It's hard to like decipher what's the boundary between it.
Yeah.
Does the overall demographics and racial majority of your community play a factor, you think, in racial profiling?
Yes.
Definitely. Do you think that black people are more at risk in your community or white people are more
I
at risk?
think it's more black people, and then the Asians, and then the Spanish people. Because
Okay.
anyone who's a minority
Minority,
in the town just
okay.
has
Superiority,
yeah.
pretty much. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think you're racially profile your own race sometimes? Like you racially profile your own race?
Yeah, I probably made a couple jokes about like racially profiling my own race. Yeah.
Okay. We're all victims of it
Yeah,
sometimes. I could say
yeah.
I do it too. What advice would you give kids who grow up in neighborhoods like ours where our race is the minority and the fear of being racially profiled by law enforcement is like a likely possibility?
I would say just whatever comes your way, just let it happen because you're the bigger person, and the more you ignore, the better your life would be. Just not dealing with that stuff,
Definitely.
and I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah, sometimes when, I don't know, we react, we can sometimes put ourselves in a worse
In a bad
placement than we were
position.
before. So I could definitely see that as better advice for people in our neighborhoods who are minorities.
Yeah.
So once again, I want to thank you for coming in, Mustafa,
Thank you.
and thank you for talking to me.